Rain gardens and planter boxes are rainscaping techniques used to manage rain and stormwater. These gardens or planter boxes can be many different sizes, depending on how much area drains to them. The gardens and boxes built with the Habitat for Humanity homes are all sized to take the rainwater from the rooftops of the homes. Rain gardens and planter boxes function in similar ways, with rain gardens being away from the houses, set at ground level, and are usually open on the sides and bottom. Planter boxes are built next to the house and completely encased in concrete. Habitat for Humanity chose to implement these rainscaping techniques to absorb rainwater from your rooftop. This is important for several reasons. When rain falls in nature, as in the picture to the left, most of the water is absorbed into the ground. Some of that water will be used by the plants and some filters down to groundwater aquifers. The water that has not been absorbed will flow across the ground to the nearest stream or river. That is called stormwater runoff. When the ground is covered by houses, streets, and driveways, like in the picture to the right, the sponge is gone, so all of the rain that falls turns into stormwater runoff. As a result, there is more runoff than there used to be. That extra runoff can carry pollutants, things like trash, oil and metal from cars, fertilizers, pet waste, and car washing detergents. Most stormwater runoff goes into street inlets such as this one, which brings it into MSD's sewer system of underground pipes. By having a rain garden, the extra water is absorbed, resulting in less stormwater runoff into the sewers with less pollution to area streams and rivers. Once the water is in the sewer system, where it goes depends on where you are. In most of St. Louis County, there are two sewer systems like in the town shown on the left side of this picture. There is one set of pipes for sanitary sewage, which comes from sinks, toilets, and other wastewater from our homes. Those sanitary pipes go to MSD's wastewater treatment plants. The second set of pipes are for stormwater only and drain to the nearest stream or lake. These pipes do not go to the wastewater treatment plants. In St. Louis City and older parts of the county, there is only one sewer system, like in the area on the right side of this picture. This system is called a combined sewer, meaning that sanitary sewage and stormwater runoff goes to the wastewater treatment plant. During very large storms, the system can't handle all of the extra stormwater runoff, so it has emergency overflows that go out to the river. These are called combined sewer overflows. Whether you live in a separate or combined sewer area, too much stormwater runoff can cause serious issues such as flash flooding, stream erosion, water pollution, sewer backups into homes, street flooding, and additional costs at the wastewater treatment plant. There are many ways to address stormwater runoff and water quality issues. MSD has several plans to alleviate these issues, such as the Stormwater Management Plan. This plan is in partnership with the municipalities in the county and is a comprehensive plan to improve water quality in our area creeks and rivers. Project Clear is MSD's 23-year, $4.7 billion initiative to address water quality and alleviate many wastewater concerns in the region. This includes working with landowners to eliminate stormwater sources, separating some combined sewer areas, upgrading the sewer systems and treatment plants, making larger tunnels to store more rainwater, and building rain gardens and other rainscaping projects to absorb water before it gets into the system. Also, throughout the district, MSD's rules and regulations are designed so that new developments cannot make the problem worse. Rain gardens not only serve a purpose, they can also be very lovely. You can use flowers, grasses, or a mixture of both. Native Missouri plants are recommended because they are adapted to our wet and dry seasons. There are many native plants to choose from. You can use different techniques to add a border to your garden, such as brick or stone. Rocks are a beneficial addition where the water flows into or out of your garden to keep the soil from washing away. Gravel or mulch can be used to cover bare areas. As long as the rain garden works the way it is designed to do, you are free to decorate it with plants, rocks, borders, and statues. It's your garden, so have some fun with it. Here is a picture showing a cross-section of the garden so we can show you what happens below the surface. Rainwater from your gutters comes into the garden. The water starts to fill the garden and filters through a layer of sandy soil. If it rains a lot, the water goes to an underdrain layer, which is a perforated pipe surrounded by gravel. That pipe then goes out to the sewer. In case of a very heavy storm, there is an overflow drain at the end of the garden. The Habitat for Humanity gardens should have 6 inches of ponding depth from the top of the mulch to the drain. The plants in your garden use some of that water. Their deep roots help keep the soil open, and they make your garden beautiful. Planter boxes work in a similar manner to rain gardens. The main difference is that a planter box sits next to the house and is encased in concrete to keep water from getting into the basement or causing foundation issues. To ensure that the gardens stay in good condition and continue to absorb rainwater, each garden has a maintenance agreement with MSD. The agreement is registered with the city, so it gets transferred to whomever owns the house. This agreement requires that the garden be permanently located within the reserved area shown on the map attached to that agreement. The owner of the property is to maintain the garden in conformity with an approved stormwater maintenance design, maintenance, and operation plan. The owner is also to maintain the drains and underdrains in good working order. MSD will periodically inspect the rain gardens and planter boxes to make sure that they are working properly. Routine maintenance is important to keep your garden functioning and beautiful. Keeping an eye on your garden can help you catch problems early on. Remember, routine maintenance is much less expensive than major repairs. In general, rain garden maintenance is similar to any regular garden, but you shouldn't need fertilizer for native plants. Make sure that you remove trash and sediment from your garden. Remove and replace any dead plants. You should also replace the mulch once a year, being careful not to fill in the ponding area. You will want to baby your gardens for the first few years. Keep the plants watered, especially during hot and dry times of the summer. Keep your garden weeded. This will take less time as your garden plants start to spread. When you weed, pull the weeds by hand instead of using weed killer. Make sure to replace broken or missing drain covers or clean out caps. In the early spring before new growth starts, trim back the old flowers and grasses. Remove dirt that is washed into your garden area. Rock mulch can be taken out and rinsed and then placed back in. After new growth starts to appear, check your plants and replace any that died during the winter months. After 3 years, some of your existing plants can be divided and planted. This is also a good time to replace your mulch if you need to. Mulch should be about 2 inches thick to help keep the moisture for the plants and control weeds. In the fall, check your garden for eroded areas and fill with soil and mulch or gravel. You should repair any bare areas in the yard that drain to the garden to prevent soil from washing in. Freshening the mulch in the fall can help reduce weeds in the spring and will help feed your garden as it breaks down over the winter. During the winter, be careful not to pile snow on your garden, as this could compact the soil as well as cause damage to your plants. Also, try to avoid using salt in areas that drain to the garden. Most of your plants won't tolerate it well. Typical tools needed to care for your rain garden or planter box include mulch, plants, a ruler to measure ponding depths, shovel, watering hose, gloves, replacement caps, and other gardening hand tools. Especially after it rains, you will want to see how well your garden is performing. There should be water ponding on the surface right after a heavy rain, so don't fill it in. If the water is still sitting in the garden after 3 days, then you may have a clog. You may need to rake or poke shallow holes in the soil. If that doesn't work, then replace the top layer of mulch and soil. Make sure to remove trash and sediment. Muddy water can come from eroding areas in your yard and could lead to clogging. Repair the eroded areas quickly and remove the sediment that settles on top of the mulch. Here are some local resources for maintaining your rain garden or planter box. Grow Native is a resource for landscaping, buying plants, and native plant information. Show Me Rain Gardens has plant lists, a rain garden guide, as well as a list of local plant retailers. The Missouri Botanical website features a plant finder and a rainscaping guide. MSD BMP Toolbox has a landscaping guide, rain garden operation and maintenance brochure, and a planter box operation and maintenance brochure. Your local nursery is another wonderful resource. If you have any questions about maintenance, please call MSD. This presentation was developed by the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District for a series of workshops with Habitat for Humanity. The workshops were conducted in partnership with Southern Illinois University Edwardsville with assistance from the City of St. Louis and Missouri Department of Conservation.